Hello and welcome to Double Barrel Gaming. I'm your host, MrBooMStickXL, and on today's very special unboxing episode, I have the complete privilege and the honor to unbox the Midway Arcade Classic 4-in-1 arcade machine for the home. This was provided to me by the Arcade 1-Up Company for the purpose of review and unboxing. And because I'm an 80s kid and grew up in the arcade scene, I'm so excited to be able to do this because these 4 games that come with the unit, I played for hours on end in the Nathan's Arcade in Yonkers, New York. And I cannot wait until you see this machine going because it is arcade perfect. I cannot believe that these machines are only $300. You can find it pretty much everywhere. Target, Walmart, Best Buy, and they're really simple to put together. So through the magic of the internet, I'm going to unbox this, and by the time I come back, you're going to be able to see the arcade machine, and I'm going to play all 4 games for you. Hopefully you stay around for the entire video. I want to thank you so much for hanging out and taking the time to support Double Barrel Gaming. And before we get on to the actual machine itself, I have to thank David McIntosh of the marketing department for Arcade 1-Up for taking a chance on a small but growing YouTube channel. I'm so thrilled that they've teamed up with Double Barrel Gaming. But you know what? Enough talking. Let's see what this unit looks like. Thanks again for hanging out. Okay, retro fans, here you go. Here is the arcade unit in the flesh. As you can see, this contains 4 absolutely stellar classic arcade games. It has Rampage, which you can play with 3 people like you could in the arcade. It has Gauntlet, it has Joust, and it has Defender. All classic arcade games with perfect graphics and perfect sound. Now, before we get into the actual gameplay, which is, of course, what everyone is here to see, I just got to talk about the unit itself. It takes 2 people to put together. My wife, Josette, also known as AKA Mrs. Boomstick, who has patience of a saint and is the Tetris queen of this household, helped me put this together. It does require 2 people, especially when you're turning it on its side, to get both sides put together. It is not difficult to do. The instructions are very thorough and well written. I have to say, like some other companies, you're there for 6 hours at a time. It took my wife and I about 2 hours to put this together from start to finish. And as you can see, the quality is incredible. It looks identical to what you remember in the arcade, and I cannot believe this is sitting in my house. Now, for the weight of the unit, it's around 40 pounds. So it's not too heavy, but at the same time, you have to be careful when moving it around. And secondly, the unit itself stands at almost 4 feet tall. Now, there is something called a riser that you can buy for this, about 40 bucks. It gives it an additional 14 inches in height, making it just a little bit over 5 feet to give it that real arcade feeling. Right now, I have it sitting on a platform because, unfortunately, the risers can be difficult to attain. I am currently waiting for my pre-order to come through, but I still wanted to give it the exact height. This is what it's going to look like, me standing next to it when you bring it home. As it stands right now, they have about 6 units out. I'm going to provide the web address so you can click on it and you can see all the different arcade machines for yourself and maybe pick the one that you want. I have a friend of mine, Jay the Destroyer, who's been on Double Barrel Gaming before. He owns 5 of them, and he made an arcade, a real arcade in his house, which is absolutely incredible. This is an apartment, so I only have room for 1 right now. As soon as I get a man cave, I'm going to do the same. But you know what? Enough talking. You guys came here to see what the games look like, what they sound like, so let's do that right now. Okay, folks, so the first game that we're going to play is Rampage. As you can see by the graphics here, it's perfect from what we remember in the 80s. And I cannot wait to get into this. I can't wait to show you exactly what's happening because this is really good. Sound is perfect in absolutely every way. Here we go. Let's get into this. I mean, the one thing I have to say about this unit is that the joystick and the buttons are arcade perfect in every way possible. They have the same clickiness that you remember. They're spot on. They hit all their targets. No control issues whatsoever. I mean, this is really incredible quality that you're getting for the $300 price tag. Like I said, I don't know how many people that are going to watch this remember being in the arcades. It's something that I'm always gonna treasure for the rest of my life, because my brother Neo Mental and my good friend Jay the Destroyer grew up hanging out in the Nathan's Arcade in Yonkers, New York. And, we spent hours, and sometimes it would be not just 2 or 3 hours, it would be like 6 hours playing games. Street Fighter, Rampage, Gauntlet, Joust, you name it. This is an incredible privilege to be able to play at home and get the arcade quality that you're seeing on the screen today. Of course, with the PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch, you can get the arcade classics there as well. But actually using the controller like this is just spot on perfect. So you know what? Let's check out one of the other games so you can see for yourself exactly how good they look. So now we're going to play some Gauntlet. And as you can see, this is arcade perfect. Now we're not going to cheap out. We're going to go to the collect some more treasure. So the one thing I want to say with these units is that when it is so spectacular that you can get this quality for $300. The one thing I love about these machines is how good the actual arcade buttons feel. They feel like the real deal. The joysticks themselves are fantastic. They're very responsive in every way. As you can tell, left, right, up, down, not a problem. You don't have to worry about pounding on the buttons. They are of high quality, and they're exactly what you would get if you went to a real arcade. Same thing with the joystick. You don't have to be, I'm not saying beat on it, but at the same time, you can be rough and not worry about damaging it. So let's get over to level 4 and see what that's about. All right. Got my key. All right, we killed everything on the screen. That's great. Save those magic potions. Now you can hear the quality in the button smashing. It's not a problem. They can take a beating. The graphics are fantastic. I mean, they're so perfect. Like I said, for the amount of money you're spending and what you're getting is just such a great value. Now, whether you know it or not, arcade machines can range anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000. Especially if trying to find an older arcade unit, because they're considered vintage, they're even more expensive. And of course, the quality of how old they are may be a problem. Some of these machines are rather old. That's why I'm really glad that I was able to get this to test it and preview it for you right here. I'm going to be doing a review at the end of this, but I just want to show you the games before we go any further. Alf is about to die. Here we go. See if I can make it to the next level before I croak. It doesn't look good, folks. Well, there's that. Boomstick does not have classic gaming skills, but you know what? I want to move on to Joust so you can see that in action. Let's do that right now. Okay, so now we're going to play Joust. I brought the camera in a little closer from a different angle. This is as arcade as they get. I spent so many quarters. This one thing about this game is that I don't remember it ever being this hard, um, but it was definitely there's some skill involved here. But man, it controls just like I remember. The one thing that's amazing about these arcade replicas is that they do play and sound and look like the real deal. Um, so I highly recommend them for sure. But you also got to, I am going to say that you have to have some sort of arcade skills because it is relatively difficult. But it controls so perfect. I don't even know what to say other than I'm absolutely blown away by how good it controls. Ah, man, I died. All right, let's see if we can clear this level. Um, you'll never get an arcade quality, copy like this anywhere else. Oh, I got it. Nice. Nice. Here we go. Nice. No survival points awarded. That's terrible. All right, well, let's keep going. Let's see how far we can get. I want to show me playing this for a while because you know what? If you're going to invest $300, you want to make sure that you're investing in something quality. And I am going to say that I highly recommend these units. There we go. Nice. Again, I am going to suggest that you do get the riser. I mean, if you have a stool, you can play sitting down, but it doesn't give you that real arcade feeling unless you're actually standing up, which is what I enjoy doing. There we go. 1,000. Nice. To wave 4. We have one game left to test, and that is Defender. And that really is as arcade classic as you can get. So you know what? I died. I think I am over. Oh, I have one man. Well, there you go. I'm done. I hope you're enjoying the gaming as much as I am. I played on this already for a couple of hours, and it's been a blast. So let's check out Defender before we get out of here. Okay, folks, so now we're going to play as the classic game known as Defender. And I am going to say one thing is for sure. I don't remember the game being this hard. Maybe because I don't have the same skills I did as a younger gamer. But I am going to tell you that this unit is so well worth the price of admission, especially if you're a retro gamer like myself who appreciates the classics. But, you know, as you can hear by the sound, it's perfect in every way. In fact, it's so loud I had to lower it a little bit because, you know, I want you to be able to hear my review on it. But I want you also to hear the perfect... Oh, look at this. I'm terrible. Game over already. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed today's video. The unboxing and review of this unit is something that I was really looking forward to. Of course, I have to say thank you to the Arcade 1-Up Company for giving me the opportunity to do this today. And I want to thank you, the viewer, for coming out and hanging out for the 10 or 15 minutes, watching me play all these classic arcade games. And let's do the review and get you guys out of here. Okay, folks, well, this is going to be the official review of the Midway Classic Arcade 4-in-1 for the home. Obviously, it contains Rampage, Gauntlet, Joust, and Defender, 4 ultra classic arcade games. The price of the unit is $300 plus tax. Again, you can get that in your Best Buy, Walmart, Target, or plenty of other places. Again, I'm going to include the website address so you can go and look at all the different units they have on display. I'm giving this a solid 9 out of 10. The construction of this unit is spot on perfect. It does not weigh as heavy as a classic arcade machine, which could weigh as much as 300 pounds. They weigh about 40 pounds, but that does not take away from the quality. The construction is solid, the controls are solid, and the buttons are just like the arcade. I want to thank you for taking the time for coming to see this unboxing today. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast doing it. I also have to say once again, thank you to the Arcade 1UP company for allowing me to review and unbox this unit today. Thanks again for tuning in to Double Barrel Gaming. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like button on your way out, share this on social media, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for watching. Have an awesome day.